Hey guys, welcome to the Prose podcast. I'm starting this solely because I kind of needed somebody who I related to when I was going through a really hard time in my life, and I just didn't feel like I could talk to anybody around me. So I went to the internet to try to find some, YouTube channels that were semi-uplifting. And there I definitely found some, but it was just hard because nobody had like a similar story to mine. So I just decided to make my own like virtual diary, and hopefully you guys can gain something out of this. I will be having other people on my channel, like my friends, my boyfriend, so that we can get like other opinions and different perspectives of all the different topics that I plan on talking about, and keep it interesting for you guys. So for this first episode, I wanted to talk to you guys about the story of me becoming a single 20-year-old mom. And so if you guys are interested in that, keep on watching. Okay, so where do I begin? I was in a relationship, like off and on for, I don't even know, I want to say 2 years. Sure, let's go with that. I think you guys have to bear with me for this story, just because going to therapy I've realized that I kind of blocked out a lot of stuff just because it was a super traumatic experience. So I really having to like go back and try to remember certain aspects that I purposely blocked out because it was just too painful to deal with. But anyways, so I was dating a guy off and on for about 2 years, and then we broke up, I want to say in July or something of 2016. Yeah, like July or something like that. And we broke up for private reasons. I won't even go into that because it's not pertinent to the story, but just know that I was basically going through this whole experience alone. So when I found out that I was pregnant, I was just super scared and everything, because I not only was pregnant, which is a whole thing in and of itself and a whole life-changing experience, and I was terrified because I was like, I'm not ready to be a mom. Like, I barely take care of myself, y'all. So, but then also it wasn't even like, oh, I have like a partner that we have to figure life out now because we're both parents, but it's just like we weren't together and he lives in a different state. So it was just, everything fell on me, like all the responsibility, everything fell on me. So that end of the year, like October, November, super lonely, super sad. Disclosing this information to my parents was almost like forced out of me, just because I couldn't hide it anymore. But I think the hardest part was telling my brothers. I don't know if it was like specifically the fact that I had to tell them, but it was just that day was the worst day of my life, because when I did tell them, I don't know what I was expecting, because me and my brothers never really had a relationship where we spoke about like private things at all. So it was kind of weird that like our first conversation that was anything more than just like a shallow conversation was about like my sex life. So it's kind of weird. But it was really after they got the news and they left and they went downstairs to talk to my parents, and then I just heard the disappointment and everything in everybody's face, and everybody was yelling and just being like, what the hell is happening? And that was the night that I contemplated suicide. It's kind of hard and weird for me to talk about because of the fact that I didn't even think about my child, because I don't think I registered those feelings yet, like you're responsible for another person, so you can't be making like selfish decisions like that. But so it's just scary and like weird for me to talk about, because of the fact that like everything that I do and think about and all my actions that I do now, I almost always think about my daughter first, and that was the one time that I didn't, and it was crazy. And I never really took actions towards like doing anything to harm myself. I just had extremely dark thoughts, and I also I had trouble just seeing past that day. I just couldn't plan. I couldn't see a future. I couldn't see what I want to do with my life. I couldn't see what my child was going to look like. I couldn't see what me and my child would be doing in the future, the kind of life that I wanted for her. I couldn't see any of that. Like I couldn't see anything past that day. And so that was super scary, because I've always been like a live in the moment type of person, but always preparing for the future and like looking forward to the things that I have planned for myself and the things that I'm going to be able to do. And that's always been my personality. And so for once, just to kind of be like stuck in this moment and not be able to get out of it was just a terrible time and terrible feeling. But I was able to reach out to a suicide hotline, and I had a two-hour conversation with this guy named Brian, and he basically talked me down. Like he talked to me about my future. He talked to me about like what I wanted to do, why did I start going to college and everything, and asking me about what kind of life I wanted for my daughter, all that stuff. And also that year I had lost an aunt, which was like the first real close family death I had ever experienced. And I don't even know if I've still processed the fact that she's not here. So I think that year was just like a super difficult, just because everything was happening like all at once. But yeah, so on December 25th, actually, I started going into labor. Like after everybody had packed up their stuff and left, after we opened the gifts on Christmas, I just started feeling like pain, and like my water was slowly breaking. So like when you have heard about pregnancies, you always hear about like this gush of water, like your water burst, but mine was weird because it was slowly like releasing. And so I didn't know if I was truly in labor or not, but all I knew is that these contractions were not it. So I went to the hospital on the 26th, and they sent me back home because they said I was only 1 centimeter dilated. They said I had in fact started going into labor, but I would have to stay at the hospital for probably another like day and a half, just because of how slow it's progressing. So I came home, I walked around my block a lot, and on the 27th, on the night of the 27th, around 8 o'clock, I threw up. My contractions were something different, and I took the hardest ride ever, because I was having contractions, and I swear there was construction everywhere. Like the streets of New York, there was not one smooth road. So I was just shaking like crazy. And so yeah, when I got to the hospital, I was 6 centimeters dilated, which unfortunately meant that I was too far along to get the epidural. So I had to now do this thing naturally, and all I wanted was for those contractions to stop, you guys. Like, it was so terrible. My mom recorded like videos of it, and I cannot watch it at all. But yeah, so on December 28th, 12:14 a.m., my daughter Aria was born, and my life has changed ever since then. I've matured a lot more. I don't really allow the things that I allowed before. I've gotten rid of a lot of friends. I don't think I did it consciously, where I was like, yeah, like you gotta go, but I just realized that like where my life was going and the things that I was about now, I really wasn't trying to do the same things that they were doing, which is no fault to them, but it's just like we weren't interested in the same things. And when I realized that our friendship was literally based around us going out and turning up, I was like, yeah, we don't connect like on any real level. Like, you're my turn up friend, and this was not gonna last a long time anyways, just because I did enjoy going out when I was, you know, in college and everything, and like actually on campus I did enjoy going out, but that wasn't my personality in terms of like, this is what I live and breathe, like I have to do this all the time. So yeah, so I lost a lot of friends in this process and everything, and even the friends that I still do have, like our relationship has just been altered a little bit, and I can see that, and I pray that they last for as long as they can. But I do see that we're going in different ways and different routes, and I don't know what the future holds, so maybe we will meet up some other time, but I just can see stuff starting to dwindle now, and that's okay. It's life, and I'm getting used to, you know, meeting new people, losing people. I'm just trying to get used to this thing called change, you know, because that's the only thing that's constant. And in terms of my daughter, you know, she's doing great. She will be 4 in December, which is actually mind-boggling. Because I literally remember her just being a little nugget. Like, she was 6 pounds when she was born, and she could literally, like, mind you, I have small hands, like I'm a small person, but like I just remember her like fitting in like the cup of my arm, and now she's huge. Like, she's like a little past my hip. Her dad is also tall, so I see her shooting past me any day. And having full conversations, y'all, like with an attitude and everything. I don't know where she gets that from, I wonder. And yeah, she's pretty awesome. Like, I realized is that I, like, all the times that I thought I was in love, I wasn't, just because I finally realized what it feels like to like love someone, like truly and unconditionally love someone. And that's the biggest thing that my daughter has done for me, is shown me true love and taught me what true love is. And because of the how much I love her, I've also decided to start working on the love that I have for myself, because I realized that I can't be a good mom to her, and I can't show her complete and just unshaking love if I don't have that for myself. You know, if I'm still putting myself in situations that would end up hurting me, you know, just for the sake of other people's feelings, and not putting my feelings first, and not thinking of that as selfish, because I'm finally thinking about myself. All the times that I've ever gone out of my way for friends and all that stuff, it always backfired. Like, I literally had a friend in college who I used to do so much, go out of my way, just doing things for her, and the fight was really stupid, but I just remember her telling me like that I wasn't a good friend, and I was like, I don't know what else you need, sis. So yeah, I was like I'm not doing that anymore. It's backfired and been a waste of my time, and truly actually negatively affected my life whenever I went out of my way for people who didn't do the same for me. So yeah, that's the main lesson that I've gotten out of motherhood so far. I know there's lots of lessons to come, but the main lesson I've gotten so far is just making sure that the same amount of respect and dignity that I give to my daughter, and making sure that she has everything and that she feels loved and that she feels respected, I need to feel that as well. And I have to make sure that I set up a space for myself to feel love and to feel respect and to feel dignity and to feel wanted in certain spaces. Just making sure that I keep that consistent for myself as well. So that's the story of me becoming a 20-year-old mom. I of course will be doing more updates and more podcasts that are related to specifically to my daughter and to the different trials and tribulations that comes with. I also will be, like I said, bringing more of my friends on here, talking about our friendships, specifically our relationships, and also my boyfriend, on the different things that we've learned throughout our relationship and how he has dealt with dating a mom. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Look who has returned. You say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. I got a gift.
What's your name?
My name is Aria. I got a gift for you.
Oh yeah.
So the gift I can tell you is gonna be like a toy snail.
Okay, baby. Alright, say see you later. Look, peace sign.
I want to do my own peace sign. Okay. My peace sign
Go ahead, do
has 3.
Oh, push it in.
Mommy, 3.
Okay, now push it. Okay, I'll do the peace sign with you. Push it all the way into the camera. Say bye.
Bye.